Hey folks, this is Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my post-fight commentary on StrikeForce Heavy Artillery from St. Louis. We'll start off with the top fight, Alistair Overeem versus Brett Rogers. And, you know, Alistair made that look way too easy, taking down Brett Rogers and just beating him up. And I really didn't expect Brett Rogers to come out and be scared. I mean, this is becoming such a predictable thing in MMA now, that a guy that comes out who has the feelings of invincibility, once that invincibility gets broken, they go right into playing scared. And you see it in poker too, like I've said many times. You know, people go balls to the wall, all in a lot, and then they finally get, you know, played out by somebody that's more skillful. Then they play scared. And then it's typical. It's predictable now. So, I don't know. I think that'll help with my prediction, because anytime, you've seen it too with the Arlovski fight. You know, Arlovski fight scared. But let's stay with this fight. I mean, it's just, from the very beginning, Brett Rogers looked scared. And even when Alistair walked in the ring and did the walk around the ring, he just walked right in front of Brett Rogers. It's like Brett was totally intimidated, and it's like Fedor busted his invincibility within his head. And here's something I did want to point out that's not really necessarily relevant to the fight, that Alistair has a look like there's a lot of pain in his body. You know, it's not that fresh look like when he was younger. So if you want to know what I'm looking at my notes I took during the fight. So anyway, that was my thoughts on that. And for those of you who didn't see the fight, basically Alistair just come out and put a total domination on Brett. Brett was fighting scared, and he just beat him down on the ground with ground and pound. It was sort of pathetic in a way, really. It's a little, but anyway. So it'll be interesting to see Overeem fight Fedor. You know, and basically Alistair's saying that Fedor basically is scared to fight him. So, you know, we're going to find out if Fedor's, you know, in the future here, we're going to find out if Fedor can beat him, and, you know, if Fedor's the man, or does Fedor avoid people that he thinks he can't beat. So that'll be interesting to see. Okay, next fight, Andrei Arlovski versus Antonio Silva. It was a boring fight, really. The first little bit was good, but again, it's that invincibility feeling to scare. You know, Arlovski, he fights scared. He fights with a lot of fear and a lot of emotion, and, you know, trying to train with a sports psychologist to get in his head. I mean, people like that, they don't need to go to some sports psychologist. You need to come to somebody like me. It's a real truth seeker, really knows how to solve problems, knows how to deal with fear and emotions and conquer it, because you ain't going to conquer with some BS psychologist. Because if psychology worked that well, I wouldn't have had to find this on my own. So anyway, it was just, I mean, I don't understand why Arlovski didn't use more leg kicks. It's just like, once your mind is filled with fear, you don't see all the options of winning. So if you haven't conquered your fear, you don't really need to be in the ring, seriously. Yeah, it's just, and if those of you didn't get to see the fight, basically Arlovski comes out, he's doing a lot of scared motion, and not really motion that's leading to any kind of productive knockout or anything like that. And then Antonio was actually pretty emotionally controlled and hitting Arlovski at will, so not at will, but as a good counter striker. Antonio was doing that to Arlovski, and I don't know. Arlovski's got to get his mind straight. That's where he's really failing at. It's not body. Okay, Jacare Souza versus Joe Villasenor. And basically, Joe took the mystique away from Jacare, I thought, you know, Jacare was basically going to be the new badass, just walk through guys, you know, and he does have a lot of spirit, essence, consciousness, whatever you want to say, but really Joey took a lot of mystique away from him, and it's basically a 3-round war with, for those who didn't see it, basically Jacare was sort of dominating as far as he just had more manhood. You know, it's throwing him around the first round. Second round, he started slowing. He still is doing it, but slowing down. Third round, Joey was starting to come along and bust him up a little bit, but it's still Jacare was taking him to the ground, and it was, you know, after a couple rounds, it just sort of become a little boring. They both were sort of gas, and Joe was trying to do more, but Jacare was keeping on the ground and stuff. So anyway, next fight, which this was pretty interesting. Roger Gracie versus Kevin Randleman, and basically, you know, it's good. You know, I thought when Gracie had Randleman on the ground, I thought it was really over in that first time he had him on the ground. I think he had him in a mount or something, or he was going for something, and you know, Randleman scrambled right out of it real good, which I thought was pretty impressive. And then I can't remember. I think it ended in the second round, and it was just like Roger really. That was the nastiest rear naked choke I've ever seen. I mean, he had it wrapped up this way, and it looked like he was choking him. I'm not choking him, but he looked like he was putting as much. His arms were so long that it looked like he was putting just as much pressure on the back of the spine as he was the neck. I mean, it was. I've never seen a rear naked choke that looked that nasty. And for those of you who didn't see the fight, basically Roger comes out against Kevin. Kevin's obviously a great wrestler, so he's keeping him off of him. Maybe a few strikes here and there. If I was Hodger, I would have done more leg kicks because you ain't scared of him taking you down. I mean, you know that's where you want to be, sort of, but you don't really want him on top. But I think he should have went for more leg kicks to soften up Randleman's leg. He already had that leg brace on. It looked like probably some injuries there. And second round come out. It went to the ground a couple times. First round, I think, maybe once. Second round, it went down. I can't remember, once or twice. But then, you know, it was basically it was Hodger's fight to win. So that's going to be interesting to see Hodger fight some more, fight some different guys. And Kevin's just, you know, I don't know, the mystique's not with him anymore either. Okay, talk about the staph infection. First of all, I see a lot of staph infections you hear about a lot of staph infections in these MMA guys, and really, I think the real deal with that is they're overtraining a lot of times. It breaks down your immune system, which makes you acceptable to staph infections and stuff like that. I think you also see it in like marathon runners and athletes in general who overtrain. You overtrain the body, then the like I say, the immune system breaks down. You catch the staph infection real easy. And so, basically, what I'm telling to all athletes and MMA guys, quit training the body so hard. Learn to find harmony. Harmony is what you're seeking, not to have a big physique or overtrain the body. And a lot of times we'll overtrain the body because we're scared, you know. And MMA is not just about, or any athleticism is not just training the body. It's training the mind. It's training the spirit. So learn to find the harmony between training all three of them. You know what I'm saying? Don't just train the body all the time. Train the spirit. Train the mind. You know, like, well, give me an example. You know, you train the body, then once you're done training the body, go get your book. Read about martial arts. Read from the old masters from Japan and stuff like that. Read other people's books. Mind. And then learn how to do the meditation. Learn to go to the park and just see the harmony of nature and try to learn. Walk through the woods, you know, slowly, and just let your body heal and just walk through and look and refresh your spirit by looking at the things and seeing how nature really works, and then try to apply what you can into your MMA. And, you know, like I say, do mental training, deal with your emotions, deal with your fears. And I mean, you're seeing constantly that fear makes guys whose bodies are phenomenal lose. So I mean, it's obvious you need to be training the spirit. So again, use your energy wisely. Cut the stupidity out of your training. It's obvious. Learn it, do it. Okay, next fight, Antoine Britt versus Rafael Fajar. You know I screw names up. Okay, that fight basically started ending in the first round. I can't remember if that ended in the first round or the second round. It don't even matter. I think it did in the first round. It ended because of the knee that Antoine got to the head from Rafael Fajar. And it was real. And then after that, you could just see when he got that knee, when he got the Muay Thai plumbing, he hit him that one time in the knee. It was just like, it was over. And you could just see it. When he went up against him, he was leaning against him, like, oh man. And then he knocks him out, obviously, with the hands, you know, after he back out a little bit. But that knee is what ended the fight. I mean, it began the end of that fight, and it was not the hands. And basically, for those of you who didn't see it, basically Antoine comes out dominant, more chi, more power, more spirit, and looked like it was going to be a rough night for Rafael. And then Rafael gets that Muay Thai plum, hits the knee to the face, and it was basically, that was the beginning of the end. Till the next video, later folks.